Major League Baseball season is getting ready to get underway here. It's getting underway this week, as a matter of fact. For most of the teams, of course, the Mariners and Athletics have already played 2 games over in Tokyo. But yeah, the opening day, as they're calling it, is getting underway here this week with all the teams otherwise. And what I wanted to do here on the podcast this week, I just wanted to give you my baseball preview and predictions for the year, and we'll go division by division here, and I'll give you my thoughts on what I think we're going to see this year. We're going to start in the American League East first. Of course, it's you got the Boston Red Sox, the New York Yankees, Tampa Bay Rays, the Blue Jays, and the Orioles. Quite simply, Boston and New York are the class of the division, as they always are. I think Boston comes back to the pack a little bit. They won 108 games last year, really had an outstanding year, and of course they wound up winning the World Series again. I think they come back a little bit this year, but I still think Boston's winning the division. I think the Yankees are right there as well, going to be probably nip and tuck. I think the Rays are probably going to have a very good season again. They won 90 games last year, and I think they're going to be right around that again. I think as far as Toronto and Baltimore, I think both those teams are in rebuild mode at this point. More so for Baltimore than Toronto. I think Toronto might surprise people and could be near 500. I think Baltimore may be on the verge of having another 100-loss season, but we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, I think Boston will just beat out the Yankees for the American League East this year. American League Central, Cleveland. You have the Cleveland Indians, Minnesota Twins, the White Sox, the Royals, and the Tigers. Cleveland is the class of the division, though. I think Minnesota is getting better as well, and I think the White Sox will be noticeably better this year as well. But yeah, this is Cleveland's division to lose. They are head and shoulders the class of the division. I think they're winning the AL Central. I think they're winning it comfortably again this year. I think Twins, I think, will surprise people and be in the mix as well. The White Sox are heading in the right direction. They're getting closer. I think they're going to improve on their 62-win mark from last year. And I think they're going to be close to 500, but I think they're going to be just under 500. The Royals and Tigers, I think the Royals are going to be slightly better too. I think the Tigers, though, however, are in rebuild mode. I know they got Miguel Cabrera and all that, but I mean, it's going to be a long way before the Tigers get better here. And I know they got the manager there and Ron Gardenhire, but it's going to be a long struggle for the Tigers, I think. But overall, I think the Cleveland Indians are winning the AL Central, and they're going to win it comfortably. American League West, you have the Astros, the Athletics, the Angels, Mariners, and Rangers. I think, again, this is going to be very competitive. It's clearly Oakland and Houston here as the class of the division. I think the Astros are slightly better here than Oakland. I think Oakland will probably take a little bit of a step back this year, but I think they're still going to be in the mix for the division. I think the Astros are just a little bit better here. The Angels and Mariners, you would think, with the Angels, Mike Trout getting that big contract extension for $430 million. You got to think 12 years, $430 million. You figure that's got to give the Angels some motivation. And we'll see. I mean, obviously, with Mike Scioscia no longer being the manager there, and then you have... of course, they still have Trout. They got Pujols that's still there. They got Brad Ausmus as the new manager. Of course, he was the manager of the Tigers for a while. We'll see what happens with the Angels. The Mariners, to me, should be close to 500 as well. They should be in the mix. The Rangers, of course, they're moving on. Adrian Beltre retired. The Rangers are in a rebuild mode. I know Jeff Bannister is no longer there as their manager. Bannister, I believe, is back with the Pirates now. The Rangers are in a rebuild mode. I know they're going to be moving into a new stadium here pretty soon if they haven't already. I know they're moving to a new stadium. I think that's happening this year. So I still think it's going to be a long year for the Rangers. But give me the Astros win the AL West. I think Oakland's in the mix, but Astros should be winning this division as well. Let's move on to the National League East. This is going to be probably the best division in all of baseball. Of course, I'm a little biased because I'm a Braves fan. You have the Braves, the Nationals, the Mets, Phillies, and Marlins. There can be an argument made that for the Braves, National Mets, and Phillies to win the division this year, it's going to be that close. The Marlins are still rebuilding. They're a long way away, I think, from being competitive again. As far as the Braves, I think it's I have to think it's going to be the Braves and Nationals. I know the Mets, they just signed Jacob deGrom. They got that contract extension done. Of course, the Phillies got Bryce Harper, and looks like they're going to be in the mix. And the Nationals, the Nationals are always a good team. I think the Nationals might fall back a little bit this year, though, without Bryce Harper being there. Though they have Juan Soto, who's the up-and-coming star. He's the heir apparent to Bryce Harper. So the Nationals were going to probably be there. I think they'll fall back a little bit. I think the Braves are on the right trend. They're trending up. I know the Braves they're still looking maybe for a starter, and maybe if they can get Craig Kimbrell, perhaps we'll have to wait and see on that. I'm not sure. I think the Braves are just slightly better than everyone else in this division, but you can make an argument for the Nationals, Mets, and Phillies. I think it's going to be a 4-team race, probably within maybe a handful of games when it's all said and done. Of course, the Marlins are way down in the basement, so I'm picking the Braves to win the National League East. I think it's going to be very close, though. National League Central, you have the Cubs, Cardinals, Brewers, Reds, and Pirates. I think this is the Cubs division. I mean, obviously, you can make an argument for the Cardinals, Brewers, and even the Reds. I think the Reds are going to be a very good team now. They got Matt Kemp and Yasiel Puig from the Dodgers, so that's going to help the Reds. You would think maybe get close to 500. They only won 67 games last year. I have to think they're going to be near 500. So I think the Brewers are taking a step back this year. I don't think they won 96 games. I don't think they're winning 96 games this year. And I know they won the National League Central last year. I think the Cardinals are right in the mix, usually probably around 90 wins. And I think the Cubs are probably winning maybe a little more than 90 games. The Pirates are not a bad team. Of course, they don't have McCutchen anymore. And then, Clint Hurdle's a great manager. He can get his guys motivated. And I think they're going to probably be near 500 as well. So I think it is the Cubs' division to win. Again, the Cardinals and Brewers will make a case. The Reds, I think, could even make a case. So we'll see. But, yeah, I'll take the Cubs to win the National League Central. And finally, the National League West, you got the Dodgers, Rockies, Diamondbacks, Padres, and Giants. It is the Dodgers division. They are the head and shoulders above the rest here in this division. The Rockies, I think the Rockies are going to be right there. The Padres, of course, they got Manny Machado, so you got to think that's going to help them as well. And I think they're going to be close to 500. And then the Diamondbacks are right there as well. The Giants are in a rebuild mode. I know this is going to be, I think this is Bruce Bochy's last year with the Giants coming up this year. So they're in a rebuild mode right now. I know they have Buster Posey, who's still there as one of their top players, but the Giants, I think, are a long way off here. I got to take the Dodgers, though. You can make an argument for the Rockies, Diamondbacks, and or Padres to be near the top of the National League West as well. But give me the Dodgers to win the National League West. So that is my MLB preview and predictions for the year. So we'll see what happens, but just some thoughts on that.